All right, a bright, sunshiny good morning to all of you. Whew, it's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. So today we're going to do lesson number 45 of A Course in Miracles. God is the mind with which I think. Today's idea holds the key to what your real thoughts are. They are nothing that you think, just as nothing that you think you see is related to vision in any way. There is no relationship between what is real and what you think is real. Nothing that you think are real thoughts resemble your real thoughts in any respect. Nothing you think you see bears any resemblance to what vision will show you. You think with the mind of God. Therefore, you share your thoughts with Him, as He shares His with you. They are the same thoughts because they are thought by the same mind. To share is to make alike or to make one. Nor do the thoughts you think with the mind of God leave your mind, because thoughts do not leave their source. Therefore, your thoughts are in the mind of God as you are. They are in your mind as well, where He is. As you are a part of His mind, so are your thoughts a part of His mind. Where then are your real thoughts? Today we will attempt to reach them. We will have to look for them in your mind because that is where they are. They must still be there because they cannot have left their source. What is thought by the mind of God is eternal, being part of creation. Our 3 5-minute practice periods for today will take the same general form that we used in applying yesterday's idea. We will attempt to leave the unreal and seek for the real. We will deny the world in favor of truth. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back. We will not let the beliefs of the world tell us what God would have us do is impossible. Instead, we will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible. We will also try to understand that only what God would have us do is what we want to do. And we will also try to remember that we cannot fail in doing what He would have us do. There is every reason to feel confident that we will succeed today. It is the will of God. Begin the exercises for today by repeating the idea to yourself, closing your eyes as you do so. Then spend a fairly short period in thinking of a few relevant thoughts of your own, keeping the idea in mind. After you have added some 4 or 5 thoughts of your own to the idea, repeat it again to yourself gently. My real thoughts are in my mind. I would like to find them. Try to go past all the unreal thoughts that cover the truth in your mind and reach to the eternal. Under all the senseless thoughts and mad ideas with which you have cluttered up your mind are the thoughts that you thought with God in the beginning. They are there in your mind now, completely unchanged. They will always be in your mind exactly as they were. Everything you have thought since then will change, but the foundation on which it rests is wholly changeless. It is this foundation toward which the exercises for today are directed. Here is your mind joined with the mind of God. Here are your thoughts one with His. For this kind of practice, only one thing is necessary. Approach it as you would an altar dedicated in heaven to God the Father and to God the Son. For such is the place you are trying to reach. You will probably be unable as yet to realize how high you are trying to go. Yet even with the little understanding you have already gained, you should be able to remind yourself that this is no idle game, but an exercise in holiness and an attempt to reach the kingdom of heaven. In the shorter exercise periods for today, try to remember how important it is to you to understand the holiness of the mind that thinks with God. Take a minute or two as you repeat the idea throughout the day to appreciate your mind's holiness. Stand aside, however briefly, from all thoughts that are unworthy of Him whose host you are, and thank Him for the thoughts He is thinking with you. Okay, so that is lesson 45. God is the mind with which I think. I love that perfect, proper English. So this morning when I was doing the lesson, I was thinking of some less I don't know, acceptable thoughts. And like just remembering back when I was like obsessive about sex. Like I would always imagine, like if I was with a partner or something, like I don't know, whenever I was bored, I would always just imagine like sexually being with a person. And I feel like I was always thinking with the mind of God, and there's nothing to be ashamed of in that. It's just now that when I have any idle time, I just move more into the present instead of fantasizing. And your fantasies don't have to be about sex. They could be about anything in the material world. And those things used to kind of excite me or satisfy me or whatever. But now when I have time and I'm not doing something, I listen for, can I hear the bird song? Or I look for where the sun is and see if I can feel the warmth of the sun. I try to focus on nature or what I want to create in the world or what I'm dreaming about. But again, there's nothing that we can be ashamed of. And all those thoughts that we've ever had, even people who got way, way deeper, maybe people watched a lot of pornography or something. Again, no shame in that. It's just a matter of knowing that you've always been thinking in the mind of God and that you weren't ever being judged. You were completely loved, and that you have the opportunity to try to focus on more higher vibrational things or just clear your mind and say things like, God is the mind with which I think, so that you kind of pull yourself up without realizing that you're doing it into just a higher vibrational place, which is ultimately going to bring you more peace and bliss in your life anyway. So just wanted to do a little intimate share there on that. No shame in our game. No shame at all. All right, now let's see what a year of forgiveness has to say on this lesson. God is the mind with which I think. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. We thank you for joining us today. We are impressed with the work you are doing with the benefit of this supportive commentary. A Course in Miracles is very challenging. It's a very challenging mind training program. We want to remind you of the mind training program you have gone through in your society. Think of all the years of school. You got up when you didn't want to, perhaps wore clothes you didn't want to, sat in a hard chair even when you were tired, studied things that you had no interest in, and participated in activities that did not appeal to you. This was the foundation of the mind training program for your society for more than a decade, every single day, barely giving you time off with homework, projects, and extracurricular activities. You must remember it for what it is. You were trained to override the ideas, inspirations, and guidance you have access to innately as a son or daughter of God. You then go to university or work, whichever comes your way. Once again, if you want to get your paycheck or make your grades, you do things you do not want to do. You write papers that challenge the mind about subjects you do not feel aligned with, yet it's a mandatory subject you must complete to get your degree. Or you work in a place that pays you poorly, treats you badly, and asks you to override that guidance that says to run outside into the sunshine, another mind training program. After your exhausting day, you go home to your television and watch it because you have no energy left. You have been in resistance all day, a joyless, difficult, challenging, and scary day. Perhaps you have had no support. Perhaps you are alone in a dorm or an apartment. You come home exhausted and lonely, and you turn on your television. There again, the programming continues night after night, day after day, year after year. You have experienced a profound mind training program. When you reflect on the lessons of A Course in Miracles, we want you to compare apples with apples. We want you to compare this mind training program with the mind training program we have just described. We are asking very little of you compared to that mind training program, yet this one is a powerful transformative tool that brings you to a place of peace. We want you not to argue with this plan. Rather, compare it to the plan you've gone through. We want you to compare the two because we are undoing that mind training program together. A powerful, long, determined mind training program your society set for you. We want you to compare these few minutes and these little challenges we set for you, what you have already gone through. The most magnificent mind training program there is, Western society. Relax a little bit. Come to these lessons joyfully and know that you are breaking free from this. Return to that connection with the holy mind of God that you have been asked to abandon in favor of television, work, money, food, cigarettes, alcohol, and sex. All the things you had programmed into you as replacements for this most wonderful connection. I am that one that you know as Jesus. You will not regret these lessons. Make sure you do not tell yourself they are far too hard for you to handle and that you cannot master this. Remember, you have been through the mind training program of Western society, and you have mastered it. If you can do that, you can do this. We will see you again tomorrow. All right, everyone, so this is another exercise where you really just open your mind. God is the mind with which I think. And I like the recommendation here from Jesus to reflect on the thoughts that you had before. Anything maybe that you felt ashamed of, just realize that you were always in the mind of God. You've never been outside of that. And all you need to do now is simply shift your focus into more of a higher vibrational connection, and you're going to see things change. You're going to have amazing results. Even if you're still thinking some thoughts now that are more lower vibrational, more material world focused, more manipulative, more sort of, like your shadow side or what have you, it's totally okay. But just know that you have a choice to think about other things and start to give yourself a pattern of moving up and out of that material focused thinking. Love you all very much. Hope you enjoy the lovely scenery, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.